Hi, this is Chris with Orange Coast College's Art Department, reviewing an industrial design style line weight exercise. And our exercise for today is to take this drawing, which is thin lines, straight edges, and redraw it by tracing it with freehand straight lines and appropriate line weights. And looking at my menu of available pens that we've created in a previous video, I'm going to pick 4 pens that I think I can use, and they're distinct enough. So I'm going to choose my sign pen for my heaviest. I'll call that a number 4, just in relative. I'm going to use my 8, my 5, and not shown here, I've got an 01. And so I'm going to use those 4. And I kind of just talk about them relatively as thinnest 1, thickest 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 in variable thickness. And how I'm going to apply those line weights is I want to think about the thinnest lines being the little details of small things. So these inner corners on these small things and just sort of material change but no dimensional change. And then my next line weight up, my number 2s, will get sort of the surrounds of my small items and the inner corners of larger items. Then my 3rd thickest line weight, I'll do the outside corners of big things. And then my thickest line weight, I'll do my silhouette, and I'll do overlaps where I've got form in front of form. And so that we can take that silhouette line into the form a little bit. And I find if I work thin to thick, I can always make my lines thicker, but if I work thick to thin, I can't make my lines any thinner that are already thick. So to start, I'm going to push this all the way over on one side of my pad. That way I can get another drawing in on the same sheet of paper. And I'm going to get my pens out. So I've got my sign pen, and then I've got my 8, my 5, and my 1. So these 4 pens. So let's start with that 1 and just hit our smallest items that are sort of small item corners and material changes. So I'm going to start right in here. These are my and I'm leaving the other ones for my next pen because they overlap. And let's look at this guy. And down here I've got just sort of material change, no real dimensional change going on here. And I'll hit my inside corners on that guy. And maybe inside corner here. I think that's it for my inside corners. As we get a little bigger with my items, I'll do my inside corners and my number 2. So in that case, I've got my 05 serving as my number 2 weight. I'm going to hit my inside corners here. Then I'm going to hit my big item, small item, outer corner. I should really come back probably with my fine pen there. And then I've got these tubes that kind of stick out from the wall, so I'm going to, because it's a small item, but it's a form in front of another form, I'm going to hit it with my number 2. And then, let's see, that's a outer corner, but it's on a pretty big form. So let me go back around and hit these guys. That's a form over form. So I'll do number 3, number 3, number 4 around, number 3, number 3, number 3, number 3, number 3. All right. So next line weight up, call it my number 3. I'm going to get my big form's outer corners, my small form overlaps. Oh, inner corner, come back there with my number 2s. Could come back number 2 there, so 2, 2, 4, 4, 4. All right, so back with my 5. All right. I think the rest is my sign pen. All right, now let's come back around. It's important that I show that that's a void all the way through here. So that's why this whole thing gets a silhouette, and we've got an overlap here. And I'm going to just let these small tubes sit in front. Even though it breaks my silhouette, it does reinforce that they're different, they're sticking out. Oh, I got to go back and get the other part of that ellipse. All right, let's get my number 2. Form up where this ellipse is also doing an overlap. All right, I think that's it. So I've got, in this case, 4 different line weights. You could probably get away with 3 for, most of your ID style, just thinking thin, medium, and thick. I like also having that heavy silhouette line. Looks like I lightened up a little bit here, so let's get that guy nice and thick and make sure we get him. All right, now it's your turn. Print out this sheet of paper, get it on your marker pad, think a little bit about how you want to approach it, and give it a shot. Good luck.